morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful morning. Wonderful, wonderful morning. Good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? It's a wonderful day. Wonderful morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. As you're coming in, please do me a favor by sharing. Let us share the video. As you're coming in. Good morning, good morning. See a lot of all my friends coming on. Good morning. Who is in the house? Let me know who is in the house, guys. From where? Where is Atlanta, Georgia? Where is New York City? Where is Houston, Texas? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? Where are my people from New York City? New York City in the house. Can I check you guys out? Are you guys there? Richmond, Texas. Welcome. Houston, Texas, right here. Rosie, how you doing? God bless you. Larry from Richmond, really like that. Niger in the house, how you doing? God bless you. Dallas in the house. Another Houston, Texas in the house. Wow. Houston, Texas is actually taking the lead today. Mississippi in the house. That's good. That's good. That's good. Mississippi in the house. Texas in the house. Another Niger. Niger is available. Canada in the house right now. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Canada in the house right now. That's good, good, good. Dallas in the house. London, United Kingdom in the house. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. Dallas in the house. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Okay. All right. Let's jump on the show for today. Wow. I'm live, Nigeria. Okay. Nigeria, welcome. Oh my God, it's gone. All these Instagram ones are gone. Manchester, UK. How are you? Nice. All right, let's jump on the show for today. Let's jump on the show. I want to us to deal with something very important this morning, and this will give us an idea of how to go further in this journey. How to go further in this journey. I understand that relationship is very challenging, it's difficult, but we have made it so difficult because of our inability to create a definition for a man, a woman, and marriage. We have a lot of motivational speakers out there, different mindsets and stuff. And sometimes they confuse the people because every one of us, we go, yeah, listen to these, we listen to that, then you come back again and listen to these, then you go back again and listen to that, and all kinds of stuff like that. Now, I don't want you guys to forget that there are people in the society who are actually, they have been broken, they are hurt, and they are on social media counseling people, advising people, and telling people what to do. Telling people what to do. It's a little dangerous if we just feed our minds with different things. You just feed your mind with different things. And sometimes it's possible for what you feed yourself with to destroy you. If you're not really careful. If you're not careful, it's going to destroy you. I just want to let you know that. Okay? Now, I posted something this morning and I actually received a lot of people saying, no, 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 no. Then I received a letter from a young man who explained himself to me and I asked him a question. I'm not sure, probably he has responded yet. But as I go on with this show this morning, I will be checking. Uh, I'll be checking my email to see if he has responded to the message. If not, I will. I'll wait for it. All right. This morning I posted that an African man they don't take nonsense. African men don't take nonsense, and it's the truth. And I don't know if you have a contrary opinion about that. It's possible for you to make it known. I'm going to release the telephone for us to be able to call in, and you can say whatever it is that you want to say. African men don't take nonsense, and I'm going to stand by it. And there are three different things that will dictate that. And like I said I am not talking about sissy men. I'm talking about real African men, trained by real men and real mothers. All right. Now, you are inside of a relationship and you say, as a man, you are being abused physically. There is a difference between emotional abuse and physical abuse. There is a difference between emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and physical abuse. All right. And I want you guys to just listen to this. I want you guys to just listen to this. I see a lot of people just arguing with me on this stuff. They argue with me on this stuff. Low self-esteem, man, don't take nonsense. Well, I'm telling you guys, if you care to understand, please. If you don't want to, you don't have to bother. African men, real African men, they don't take nonsense. They don't take nonsense. No, they don't. They don't take nonsense. African men who are providing for the family, they don't take nonsense. I'm not talking about sissy men here. You see, there are men and there are sissy men. There are men and there are sissy men. They're two different things entirely. A man becomes sissy depends on his upbringing. Upbringing will affect a man, will reduce a man to zero. You see, that man will not act like a man. And that's the problem. And that's the problem we are seeing in the society right now. There are weak people who call themselves men. You cannot be weak as a man. A man is not supposed to be weak. Do you know what your responsibilities are? You're supposed to be a fence. You're supposed to be you're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be able to give. You're supposed to be able to advise. You're supposed to be knowledgeable. You're supposed to be brilliant. All of those things will not make you a man if you don't have them. A man is tough. A man is tough. A man was created from the dust. A woman created from an existing man. A man created from the dust. All right? A woman created from an existing man. And that's why people always think that, okay, a woman is actually a weaker vessel. Because of their nature, they look weak, but they are not weak. A man is not supposed to be weak. A man is not supposed to be weak. A real African man don't take nonsense. A real African man, I'm going to say it 20 times. A real African man don't take nonsense. We don't take nonsense. African men don't take nonsense. It is possible for them to take nonsense in Caribbean. Caribbean people can take nonsense. Black Americans can take nonsense. Whereas white Americans can take nonsense. African men, okay, we don't take nonsense. Okay? We don't. We don't take nonsense. African man will tell you, that's a waste of my time. What do you mean, don't you have a hand? Can't you open the door by yourself? You know? You know what I'm saying? Can't you open the door by yourself? That's what an African man will tell you. They don't take nonsense. Guys, I am not talking about anything else. I'm just trying to break African men down to you guys. So it's not about them dishing out nonsense or whatever. Let's be calm. Be calm. Just take it easy. Let me break it down. Let me break it down where I'm going. Let me break it down where I'm going. Somebody saying, how about men under jazz? That's an influence. That's not a man. That is not. He's not in control of his life anymore. We don't want to bring that into this. I'm talking about men who are in the right state of mind. A man. Amen. Please, let's take it easy. I'm not coming from that side of men giving nonsense right now. I just want to break a man down to you so you will understand who a man is. All right? A man. All right? I just want you to just look at it. Not looking. I'm not saying. All right, a man dishing out nonsense right now. I'm not talking about the character of a man right now. I just want to let you see African men. Actually, I studied last week about the nature. I studied it. You will find out that African men will tell you we are hunters. African men will say we are hunters. He said we are hunters. That's how African men will talk. We are hunters. Because of their nature of training, because of who they are, because of the makeup, the blood that flows in them. Because of the blood that flows in them. Guys, I'm telling you to take it easy. You, these people, are always jumping. Coco rebel. Just take it easy. You guys are just jumping all the time. You don't want foundation. You just want people to just take this from the top. I'm taking you to the foundation right now. Listen. Just listen. Just listen. That's what they tell you. We are hunters because of the nature of their training, the blood that flows in them, what they grew up to see. African men are tough people. They are tough. They are not weak. All right? They are meant to provide. That's why you see African men will die providing. You see them in an African man is for him to be seen as the head. It's for him to be seen as the provider. It's for him to be referenced, for him to be respected. They will take that respect out of you anyhow you like it. Either you like it or don't like it, they will take that respect out of you. And that's why you see an African man is so aggressive. Very aggressive. That's how they are trained. That's how they grew up. Now, when you now begin to see that nature in African men, they want to be relevant. They want to provide. It's a shame on an African man to be collecting his wife's money. An African man will tell you, I don't want your money. I can make it happen. Even when they're dying. Even when they're actually dying right now, they will be telling you, to hell with your money, I can make it happen. All right? It's because of the level of ego. The ego in an African man wants him to be in charge. The ego in an African man wants him to be in charge. There's nothing wrong in that ego. Nothing. There is nothing wrong with that kind of ego that wants to be in charge. It's a beautiful thing for African men to be in charge. All right? To take care of responsibility. They feel things are supposed to do that. So they want to rule. They want to rule. An man is a king, and that is why you will see every time, there's this my white friend. He asked me, he said, why is it that African men, they're all actually either a prince or a king or whatever. Every time you see an African man, you will always see the story of a king inside of their story. They will always come from the royal family. They always be like the son of a king or the daughter of a king or whatever they do. Okay? An African man believe in rulership, that I am in charge. I call the shot here. All right? Every other person is supposed to shake when I come. I remember when my dad, by the time my dad will leave and go somewhere, on his way coming back, we know the sound of his horn. 1 mile away, when he goes like bam, bam, everybody will take off and run. It gladdens the heart of an African man when he's being referenced like that. When he's being scared. I mean, when people scared it, when they are afraid of it, it gladdens the heart of an African man. We grew up like that. We saw our daddy walk into the room, everybody disappears. That's one part of an African man that they don't want you to take that away from them. They want their wife to shake when they enter. Inside. That is how the ego is. The ego wants them to provide and tell your wife, go to hell with your money. I'll take care of this family. And if you want to see the most or the highest level of ego, is in some of our ego men. Our ego men, you will see the demonstration of ego to the highest level of it. That ego is so big, so large, that when they come into the room, you will understand that this is an ego man. And it reflects in their songs. When you look at the way African men dance, Igbo men dance, when you see the way they dance, you will see that ego inside of it. Say, what? Kilo so. That's and the beat is that. You will see the beat is different. You see the beat is different. You see it there. You will see the highest level of display of ego. All right? That they are in charge of their homes. They are in charge of their homes. Nobody should come here and intervene whatsoever. They're in charge of their home. An African man is a lion in his making. An African man is a lion in his making. You don't dare mess with an African man. Why take that straight? So when civilization started coming in, gradually we took the religion. The religion of the white people now started taming the ego of an African man. Then they tell an African man you can't marry 2 wives. When an African man was still a real African man, he is a polygamist by nature. He rules. He is a king. He rules. He is a king in his own domain. He rules in his own domain. He rules. So you see, when now the white people now brought their own religion, our own traditional religion suit an African man. That they could decide to take as many as possible wives, and then they sit down and the wives will be running around. And let me tell you something, in those days, when those men were married to many wives, the women were the one working on the farm. You thought the women were the ones just keeping the house. They marry many to work on the farm. They use women more like a slave working on the farm. Even though they eat and they have sex with them and they have many children, and then the children will go to the farm with their fathers and work. That was the way the ego of an African man was in those days. So when they enter into a room, it's like a king has come. When they come into life, so when they sit with a palm wine on their side, the wives are running around cooking. Who born you? Who born you to come and tell an African man in those days to go and wash plates? Who is your father that will tell an African man to go and make the bed? Who is your father to tell an African man to go and cook? Cook for where? That is not part part of their job responsibility and another job description. An African man is supposed to sit back and be served. African men get served. We get worshipped. All right? I wish I was alive at that time. I wish I was alive at that time. An African man was worshipped. He was referenced to the fact that when the mother of their wives come, they still bow to them. Oh, you don't know nothing. You don't know anything. It's a blessing for me marrying your daughter. So when the mother-in-law come, the mother-in-law will still bow in those days to their in-laws for marrying their daughters. A daughter is equal to zero. Is equal to nothing. They don't put value on a woman. So when you marry them and you are doing them a favor, marrying them. Marrying them. So when you look at this whole process, you find out that they have been enjoying life. I'm going to block you. If anybody's saying screaming or whatever, I'll block you. This is how my page has been. If you can't stick to what I'm saying, you can get out of here. I will block you. All right? So they enjoy their lives. They enjoyed it big time. All right? So now when the white religion came, then they started taming the ego of an African man. Then they started taming the ego of an African man. And all kinds of stuff. It's difficult for an African man to see himself coming down to that level. They fought it. They fought it. They said, no, we are not doing this. But the issue is that as they go to church, they start getting tamed. They start getting tamed. They start getting tamed. Then it came to a time when they now say, an African man, in Christianity, you will marry one wife. That was a terrible moment in their lives. That they couldn't believe that. Are we listening to this stupid message? Who is teaching this now? Why are we hiring white man culture? Why are white people coming to teach us their own culture? Marry one wife? For where? For where? Marry one wife? That's not our thing. That's not our word. And even till today, they still talk about it. This is not our religion. This is not our way of life. Our way of life is different. We are Africans. We always hear it when African men will say, we are Africans. They know where they're from. They know what they take and what they don't take. They know how they roll. One wife? One wife? What do you mean one wife? And that was why in those days, when you go to the Baptist church, you will see them, they will now say, if you are married to two wives, the only wife that is actually allowed to actually take Holy Communion is the first wife. They will now say, how about the second and the third wife? They say, well, that one doesn't concern us. If you don't want to let them go, then I don't know what you're going to do. And stuff like that. So you find out a lot of men who are married to 3, 4 wives, they could only bring the first wife to communion. They just bring them to communion. So it's only communion that they bring them to. All right, to the first wife. So when they start teaching all of this stuff, gradually, we accepted the education of a white man. Then we started going to school. Then our eyes started opening. Then we now embrace the fashion of an African man, of an American, of a white person. Then we started wearing shirt and tie, suit and all kinds of stuff like that. Then gradually, the way of life, going to the court to sign document and become a legal wife. Then they call them Iyawo Oloruka. That is, I am the right wife. I'm the only wife. This is my ring. All right? This is the ring you have given unto me. And even at that time, women don't have rights. They marry them, they just keep them at home. And then the man still have the right to do whatever they're doing. They have the right to go and meet their concubines and stuff like that. And the woman in the house doesn't have the right to say, where are you coming from? Because they're Africans. African men. That's how they grew up. That's what they knew. Wasn't easy to change them. They were just enjoying themselves. That's how they know how to live life. If you say nonsense to your husband will beat beat you. Is when a man beats you in Africa in those days, it's part of the game. You can't go back to your mommy. You can't go back to your daddy. You don't know where to go and report. Police will not listen to you. It is not a crime. They will tell you, go back to your husband. So the women will now go back. So women in those days, they have learned from their mother. That's why the mothers will tell them, ilé ọkọ, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ni o, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ni o, ilé ìyá ni o, má gbọ́kọ lójú o, má yọkọ lódì o. When you cook for ọkọ, cook for him o, do this o. When your husband did one time, just kneel down and beg him. When your husband make mistake, kneel down and beg him. So they buy peace inside of sadness and sorrow for women. For women, they want to buy them peace inside sadness. All right? That they can suffer and smile. They can suffer and still be smiling. All you need to do is you are going to suffer. So when you are going to husband's house, women cry. During the day that they're doing the traditional wedding, the women cry. And the reason why they cry is because they are going to a place they do not understand. Maybe this guy will beat them, will kill them, will do whatever. They don't even know. Okay? They're going to a place where their heart is going to be broken several times. And they must amend it. Several times they must amend it. And that's where they're going. And that's where they're going. And that's why they cry. They cry. They call it ekun iyawo. Why is the wife crying? You have liberty to have sex. Is this supposed to be crying? But they're crying because of the unknown. They don't know what they're going to meet. They saw it. It was between their father and mother. They found that the woman doesn't have a right. They don't have voice. They don't have anything. They just obey instruction. An African man. That's our ego. That's how we were born into it. We were trained like that. We learn from the best, and that's who we are. So gradually, the white culture started coming in, and they started taming the African man. They started training and taming us. And when they tamed us, then we now came into that particular religion called Christianity. So in Christianity, there are so many laws, so many scriptures that's delivered to men for a man to understand who they are and how they should treat their wives. Let me tell you something. Because there are laws, because there are instructions in the Bible, doesn't mean that the nature of an African man is not there. It is still there. That nature is still there. All right? So now, the body don't get born again. It is only the spirit that gets born again. I don't want you to forget this. The body will not get born again, but the spirit will. So when you allow spirit to control the body, that's when you say you are really, really born again. Because now your spirit is ruling you. No longer your body. No longer your pride. No longer your ego that is ruling you. Now the African nature is there, but it's no longer active. You are now connected to the tradition and the culture of the Bible. All right? So the old man in you has been crucified in you. Even though you are coming from Africa, even though that was our nature, even though that was how we see life, even though that was how we lived it, even though many of our mothers died in abusive relationships, even though they could not speak, they had no voice. But now that we are in Christianity, Christianity has succeeded in penetrating us and killed the old man in us, or should have killed the old man in you. Should have killed it. Should have killed it. So when you now come into a marriage as an African man, you are no longer going to operate with the old flesh as a Christian. You are no longer going to. You will now operate based on the culture of the Bible, where the Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. He did not say, husband, love your wife as Shango loved the wife. He did not say, husband, love your wife as Ogun loved the wife or the people. He said, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So the picture that the church described to us about Jesus is that Jesus was continuously forgiving the people. Father, forgive them, that he died for them on the cross of Calvary. So he painted a different picture to us, for us to disconnect from what we used to know to a brand new life in Christ. All things are passed away. Behold, they are new. The old life we used to live in Africa is no longer the life, because now we are a new creature. We now live in Christ. So we need to abide by the rules of the Bible. But that doesn't take the fact that we are providers. It doesn't take the fact away that we are hunters. It doesn't take that fact away that we are tough. It doesn't. Now God will now use that tough nature, the hunting nature, as a positive nature in our life when you enter into marriage. So you will protect your wife. You will provide for your wife. You will make your wife happy. You will push your wife to succeed. You will do all manners of things that you're supposed to do in that relationship. In that relationship. In that relationship. You will do everything. And you see, let me tell you this, guys. You cannot transform. You cannot be transformed if you don't renew your mind. An African man cannot be transformed if you cannot renew your mind. The renewing of the mind is actually not by praying. The renewal of the mind is by the word, reading the word, listening to the word. That is what will renew your mind. People don't get born again by praying. They get born again by hearing by the word of God. See, these are two different things entirely that we mixed up. And that is what is affecting us today. Now, let me break it down real quick. I just want to give you guys a kind of little foundation right now, even though you guys were not that patient enough. You guys are jumping. You just listen to attack. You don't listen to understand. I get embarrassed when Nigerians don't listen. When Nigerians jump into conclusion from the start. I'm trying to build a foundation, you already start talking. You already start talking nonsense. Listen to it and understand where we're going before you start jumping around. Okay? Wait until somebody dies before you bury it. Okay? Now, the issue is that the ego in an African man always make African men to want respect. And there's nothing wrong in wanting respect. Respect should be part of the life of an African man, or men generally. All right? And even women too. It's not just men that deserve to be respected. We both must be respected. We should be respected. It's just that African men, we are still looking at the old self of where we are from, that our mothers knelt down to their husband, carry food in their hands, worship their husbands. It's a different ball game now. It's a different ball game now. We have embraced the culture of African people, of the white people who brought that religion, Christianity, to us. We embraced it. We accepted their education. We accepted their fashion. We accepted their houses. We accepted the ways of life. We accepted their accent. We accepted their English. We accepted everything about them. You cannot reject one when you have accepted all. You can't pick the one you want to reject, because now you have accepted their dressing, you have accepted their education, you have accepted their government, you have accepted everything. So now, you see, let me say this real quick before I go. When you go and watch a movie, there's a movie you need to watch, and it is about the Yoruba people. You will find out that in those days before the British came to Nigeria, Nigerians, they already have the structure. They have the structure of governments. They call them the Alaafin, the Oyomesi, and the rest of them. So they have their own levels of government too. It wasn't Germans or British that taught them how to. Nobody taught them that. Nobody did. They had it in them. There is the Alaafin, who happens to be the supreme head, and then the Oyomesi, who happens to be the Senate. And they already have all of these things in place. And likewise, their religion, the Yoruba traditional religion, they already had it in place. And when you look at that religion, it is similar. It is similar to what we are being taught from the Bible. I want to prove it to you, but I'm not doing it today. All right? It is similar to everything they taught us in the Bible. The same storyline. When you look at the Quran is similar to the Bible. The same storyline. When you look at Buddhists, you go and look at the story similar to the same thing in the Bible. You see, so our people in those days, they had their own understanding of what life is all about. They were enjoying their life. The only thing that was wrong was that they relegated women to the background. Women are more like property in those days. And that was one thing. That's one thing that Christianity came to expose to us. So, in the heart of an African man, they believe they're still living in those days. But those days are gone. Now we have embraced the newness of life. A place where women are now on the same platform as men. A place where a man is not supposed to use ego to provide. A place where we with their husbands to make life easy. All right? A woman is not supposed to be a homemaker alone. A woman these days go to work and make salary to come home and help the husband to pay bills. A place where the two of them run side by side as companions, not as the slave and the master. A place where a woman's got a voice, that a woman could make more money than the husband and the family will still be nice. A place where a man should understand that ego could be controlled. That your wife is, could make more money than you doesn't mean the woman is tampering with your ego. Your ego must be controlled to fit into that system. It's a new system. It's a strange system to an African man. A new system. African men are the head. They are the head. That was what we had when we were growing up. When we were growing up, they say, you are the head. You are the head. You are the head. A man is the head. A man is the head. So we misinterpreted that word, the head, as being like superior. And that's what they demonstrated in those days, that when they have a baby boy, they do better celebration. Say, they do better celebration than when they have baby girls. Baby girls, they put them at the bottom and they put the man on top. That's the idea we have. When we grew up, that was what we saw, that a man is superior to a woman. But, when we now go to school, we found out that me and a woman, we sit on the same bench in primary school, and we're learning the same thing, and that girl is even more brilliant than me. And then we now took exam. We went to secondary, and we see girls are in my class, boys are in my class. There are boys only schools, there are girls only schools. At the end of the day, we all took jam. The same question, the same cut-off point. Brother Jide, how are you? Brother Jide Ojetola, how are you? You know what I'm saying? So we took the same exam, the same cut-off mark to go to college. When we got to college, we were all in the same class, girls and boys. So I began to think about it. So why am I superior? In what way am I superior to this girl? This girl was in my class when I was in primary school. She was in my class in secondary school. Now she's in my college right now, studying medicine. Why me? I'm studying Yoruba education. Don't let me start. I don't want to be funny today. Today is not about being funny. I don't want to be funny today. I just want to be serious. Then I found out when we graduated college, we both write the same resume and look for job, the same company, and they gave us the same interview. The same interview. I was looking at myself, why am I different? Why am I important more than this girl? This girl and me, we went to the same school, the same lecturer, the same cut-off point, the same education, the same job, the same everything. And there was a time when they hire a woman, they gave them lesser salary than that of a man. Just because of gender. A girl, a boy. So they give the boy more money than the girl, thinking that the boy will do better than the girl, or will have enough energy to work better than the girl, or probably they're thinking that the boy is more knowledgeable than the girl. But the girls were able to demonstrate that they are actually more knowledgeable, that they could multitask, and they will still function. And gradually, as the civilization started coming, then we started seeing that women started making equal salary with men. They fought it, and they started making it. And people say, oh, that was the mistake we made by bringing a woman on the same platform as men. That was the greatest mistake of life. And that is why we are here where we are today. I don't believe so. I believe because men refuse to accept change, that is why we are here where we are today. We refuse to accept the change, that things are totally changed. The girls are doing better than the boys. The boys are doing well. You go to colleges right now, you see the girl on top of the class, on top of the school. The most brilliant person in the school happens to be a girl. You know, here in college in America, you see the most brilliant girl in the school may be a Nigerian girl, one young Nigerian girl somewhere. The boys too are pulling weight. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just trying to make you to see that you now begin to see that women are now becoming vice presidents of a country. Women are becoming CEOs of companies. Women are going into politics. They are becoming doctors and lawyers and, all kinds of stuff. Women are even pilots, flying jets all around the world. Then you begin to look at them like, okay, these people are not really weak. Like people say they are weak. They are not weak. Women are not weak. They were just intimidated. In those days, they were intimidated. They were shut down. They reduced them to nothing. That was why they couldn't function. But I remember a story. I remember a story one time of a woman called Mrs. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. That woman, in those days, fought to be relevant in the society, and they killed her. And they killed her. That woman, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, the mother of Fela Anikulapo, from nowhere, she fought. She became relevant. And then she happened to be the first to drive a car on the street. And she was so vocal. But they killed her. Why will a woman come here and be talking? A woman. And that's why Yoruba people have this language. They say, Obiri lasan. They say, the ordinary woman. And I don't understand. And I don't really understand why you say ordinary. There's nothing ordinary about a woman. Nothing ordinary about them. They are so powerful. They are actually the most powerful creation of God. God took time in creating them. They're so powerful that when they come into your life, forget about your life. Your life is going to spin around. When you hold parties without a woman, the party is not good. There's nothing you do. There's nothing you do. The place is not going to be good. A woman is necessary, very powerful. In any society, they shut them down. But now, the inability for men to accept change is now making the society to force that change on us. It's forcing the change on us now. They rebel against the change. And when you rebel against the change and you allow that ego in you that you're supposed to drive, that's supposed to drive you positively, and you allow it to drive you negatively, then you're going to land where you're not supposed to land. If every man will see their wives as their partners, and if every man will respect that woman, women, They don't have nothing in them than to copy you. Women, they copy what you do. What you give them is what they take. And that's what they multiply. And that's what they give back to you. Go and see it. A woman is like a ground, like a soil. That when you plant something there, what you plant will grow. And then it will bring forth fruit. And when the fruit is now dropping, that's when you now start shouting, she's a witch, she's wicked, she's a bad person. The very first day you saw her, you met her, she was sweet. She was nice. Why did you keep that sweetness in her? Why did you maltreat her? Why did you verbally insult and abuse her? And everything you've done to her in course of the years is now what you are taking right now. There can never be smoke without fire. If you keep that woman as sweet as she was when you met her, she will still be sweet today. Some of us men, we don't understand. So we allow that African nature in us to come to play sometimes. And whenever that African nature come in to play sometimes, we mess up. We mess up. We mess up. We say things we're not supposed to say. They receive it. You say, I'm sorry. They tell you, I forgive you. But that scar is still there. And you're actually widening the scar like every day you make that same mistake. And you think like, okay, well, I'm a polygamist by nature. And when you go to cheat, some African men are not brilliant. Brilliant, you know, when you say people cheat, brilliant people cheat though. It's not dummies that cheat. Dummies are not the ones that cheat though. If you're a dummy and you are cheating, you will get caught. Brilliant people. Knowledgeable people. If you see somebody cheating, they are very brilliant people. They know how to take care of themselves that nobody's going to know. It's only dummies that will go and cheat and then they get caught. Dummies, sissy men, they go and cheat. They go and cheat and then they get caught. You think ordinary fool will do 419? You think 419 is easy? 419 boys are the most brilliant boys in the world. They are the most knowledgeable guys in the world. Go and check it out. They're not dummies. You think they're dummies? This guy is a armed robber. Armed robber it's not an easy job. Carrying a gun and walking on the street, you think it's easy? Facing police and shooting. Do you know what they've gone through? They must have gone through so much training and know exactly how the mind of a man works. The brilliant people, smart men going to 419. When you cheat, a dummy don't cheat. A dummy. You say you're a dummy and you are cheating. You want to cheat, you must not be a dummy. And then you have broken the heart of your wife, the woman that has been so sweet and been cooperative and been submissive, respectful all her life. And then the first day you say, I'm sorry. Second time, I'm sorry. Third time, I'm sorry. Let me tell you, by the time it's getting to the third time, the woman is already broken into pieces. And then your I'm sorry doesn't make no sense anymore. And I'm saying this. But you will still be so aggressive and actually ignorant. I mean, aggressive and what they call that English again. And you won't accept it. Then you say, but I'm a man. I'm a man. Huh? But so now I'm a man. Don't I have the right? Don't I have the right to sleep around? Am I a man? I'm not a man. I'm an African man. I'm African, sir. I am African. I'm African. Okay? You see. You see, all these things I'm telling you, my years of counseling, I've listened to men talk to me all the time. I listen to some men talk to me all the time. And I shake my head sometimes and I feel so discouraged and embarrassed when they keep on shouting, but I'm a man, but I'm a man. And I sometimes ask them, what's the definition of a man? What's the definition of a man? How do you see a man? How do you define a man? How do you think God sees a man? How do you see it? How do you see it? Why is an African man different from a white American man? Why is an African man different from a black American man? How are they different? How? How are they different? Tell me how they're different. Let me open my telephone line so that people can call in. Oh my God, I think I have a session by 10. Jesus Christ. Hope they will not be calling me. And Instagram will be shutting us down any moment from now. Instagram supposed to have forgiven me now. Ah, formerly you gave me 3 hours. Now you reduced it to 1 hour because I posted something. Can't post something. Oh, the telephone number is on the screen for people who love to. You want to respond. You want to respond to me. And money, ego, and upbringing actually will always come to play parts in the definition of an African man. You know, in the definition of an African man. To define who an African man is, money, ego, and upbringing will always show up inside of that definition. All right, the telephone number is on the screen for those that would love to call in. You want to call in too. At least, I think I saw a comment that somebody said I disagree with you. I wanted to call in, and I wanted to share with us what you disagreed about, or why disagree. Why disagree? And hello.
Hi, Joshua.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if your show is still live, but I'm actually watching it right now.
Yeah, the show is still live.
Great analysis. I really enjoyed it. My father I'm an African person, and
Okay.
I have to agree with a lot of what you said.
Yeah.
And I think for the viewers that might have been quarreling or not really understanding, it's just kind of giving them a contextual or historical analysis of where the sense of ego, entitlement comes for African men. I just wanted to say that first time calling, so I'm a bit nervous, but thank you for that.
Thank you very much. You made a good point, my sister. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, the telephone number is there for us to call in. I would like to hear from you. Somebody said I disagree. Please make your point. Why do you disagree? What do you disagree about? Stuff like that. Somebody said question. Elisa, you can go ahead and call that number through WhatsApp. You can call it through WhatsApp if you are in Nigeria. If you're here, you can call directly. If you're calling from London or outside of US, you can put +1 405, +1 in front of it. And you can go ahead and call. Let's pick this call. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Can you please turn your computer off? We're hearing the sound in the background.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was the one that said I disagree.
All right, go ahead and make your point.
Yes. I'm an African. I'm a Nigerian.
Okay.
And I was raised by a Nigerian man or woman.
Okay.
But the truth is, there are some points here, and there are some I disagree with. For example, I grew up with my mom and my dad, but I never saw my dad telling my mom to wash any of his clothes, which could be considered as an ego to an African man. My mom never washed my dad's clothes, not even with kids. My dad wasn't young. He died at the age of 65. You get that? Yeah, but I think when it comes to man and woman issue, at this age, there's a lot of misconception about the whole thing. Woman has a responsibility as well as man has a responsibility. It's not about education or not education. It's about accepting who we are. You can have a woman to respect a man and a woman even respecting the relationship, and still yet the man will have ego. Ego can be categorized differently. Yet, let's just say in the way that majority, let's go in the majority with all of this. Men does much than women does. And some men are literally serving women. Hello?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Some men are literally serving women. So what I was saying earlier, so my dad never.
Can I ask you a question, sir? Can I ask you a question, sir?
Hello?
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 36.
Okay, you cannot understand what I said because you are not born at the time that I'm talking about. Your dad is a new generation father. Sorry. Your dad is a new generation. Your dad is a new generation father.
Yes.
Okay, so when I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I know exactly what I'm saying. The guy you're talking to here, I'm 55 years old. I know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the way African men treated their wives. Your dad grew up inside of a new generation of Africans. When your dad was born into a reformed Africa. And he chose to live his life the way he lived it. He's only 1 out of 100 men who did that. Okay? So when you are disagreeing things, you don't disagree things based on one person. You disagree on, when you look at the statistics, you have to have 80% are sure that what you're saying is correct with 80 men out of 100. You get the point? Okay. I don't think he wants to get the point.
Hello, I'm with you. I'm trying to listen to what you're saying.
You are trying to listen to what I say on the radio, on the stuff. You're not supposed to listen there. You're supposed to listen on the phone.
Yes, I'm listening right here.
Okay. So that's the way it's supposed to be.
Somebody's saying something that is it the first son? No, he didn't. At least my dad had somebody that is 48 years old, I'm 49, and he's been living for like about 10 years now. So when he died, he was 65.
My brother, stop arguing. Stop arguing. Go and do your finding and place your disagreement or disapproval on a large number of men, not one man.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm telling you right now. Exactly. You cannot just pick your dad and say, my dad is good, so everybody's supposed to be good.
You were talking to this generation now.
I'm talking to this generation, and I'm bringing it to this generation.
Misconception about the message you're trying to pass. I actually understand the message you're trying to pass.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. If you do really understand the message I'm trying to pass, you won't say you disagree. What you're gonna tell me is that when is the part B? What you're gonna ask me is when is the part B of this message gonna come up? Thank you very much, my brother, for calling. God bless you, man. And this is what I say all the time. People bury you before you die. We are laying a foundation and people are already disagreeing with the foundation you're laying. Oh my God, 1 minute and 38 seconds left on Instagram. Now, when you are looking at what we're saying here, I want everybody to agree with me on one thing. We are not here to make a competition between a man and a woman. We're not here to make a competition between a man and a woman. We are here to make a competition. It's not a competition that we're doing. We are trying to clear the atmosphere. Hello? Hello? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you? I have something to say. I mean, and I'm not asking this question with any distaste in my mouth, but you know, you're on a platform and we all have our different opinions.
Of course.
And from the last caller, you seem to have shut him down.
I did it. I listened to him. He wasn't making any points.
I think you were very dismissive towards him.
No, he wasn't making any point, madam. I didn't shut him down. It doesn't make any sense.
Statistics, just like you said that he should have statistics and probably do a survey.
Yes.
You also, I mean, what statistics also were you basing your discussion or argument on?
On the large number. That's what I'm basing it on. I'm not basing it on the majority, on the few. There are few men in those days that were correct. Madam, let me tell you this. Madam, let me tell you this.
Let me make my point, Dr. Shola.
No, wait. Let me tell you this.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Let me tell you this, ma'am. Let me tell you this, ma'am. I always say this on this show. I say this on this show. I'm not here to celebrate good men or good women. I'm here to talk about something that is wrong in our society and how to fix it. I'm not here celebrating good people.
Those that have good opinions or positive opinions shouldn't call in.
Of course, I don't want them to call in if they are not going to be fixing problems. If they just want to fight for the good ones. Oh, my father is good. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the people that are bad, how do we help them to become good? That's the reason. People who are good don't go to therapy.
What did you say about therapy?
People who are good don't go to therapy. People who are bad and having problems, those are the people that go for therapy.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you guys. You guys need to listen. You just want me to be celebrating good people? I don't do that.
Okay, I got your point. Let me make a contribution to what we've been talking about.
Okay.
Regarding this, because I also had that question.
Okay.
You know, when you started off, you also in the show, you also said people should not just have jumped into conclusion.
Yeah.
You know, they should have waited for you to make your point before, making some comments. I was one of those, because when you started off with the traditional, the traditional religion, if I can call that.
Yeah.
Then you talked about the Christianity. But for me, I got a very confusing understanding from what you were saying, because you keep saying African men are African men, they have ego, they don't take nonsense. Mm-hmm. Then you now went ahead and talked about the Christianity of the white man that brought in.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking you now, and in all you've said, African men are African men. It comes up in their lives, even as Christians.
Yes.
What do you propose now? Because this message you're giving, you have a lot of followers that are influenced by what you say. Mm-hmm. What do you propose yourself before we can also talk about what our suggestions are? Because you're talking, an African man is an African man. He's entitled to have different women, or entitled to have different wives.
Yes. And
he has also accepted the white man's religion. So how do we balance that for the men?
I balance
for the women also. How do we also accept, this ideology of these are African men who have now accepted the white man's religion? How do we fit in also in this double religious life of the African man?
It's because you didn't listen. It's because you didn't listen to me. You already have a biased mind from the start.
You see,
when you look at the comment, when you go to the comment section right now, you see what the people are saying there. People who listen to the message, you see what they are posting on the comment. If you check it on Facebook, you see what they post. Now,
I followed.
Okay, let me know. You did not, man. Let me tell you what I said. I said African men. You see, we were created in a way. When we were born into a tradition and a culture. And our religion is the Yoruba traditional religion in the Yoruba part of Africa. All right. So we grew up understanding that African men are supposed to be like this. We're supposed to be served and worshipped. But when the white men came, they brought a different religion, that's Christianity, that we all accepted today. And inside of the Bible is a different ball game. And African men were now being forced and being tamed to understand that in Christianity, this is how you're supposed to live your life. The very first thing they said was for them to humble themselves as Christ humbled himself. The second thing they told them was that there must be a man of one wife. And every one of them actually, they threw their feet on that and stopped. But gradually, because of the education that was coming in and all kinds of stuff like that, they started accepting this whole stuff, and then they stick to that Christianity, and that's where we are today.
Do you think it's right for the African man to have accepted that Christianity and the ideology behind it?
Everybody's got their own. We still have people who are still in Yoruba traditional religion till today. Not every one of us accepted it. People had a choice. It's your choice to accept or not to accept. When you look at it and feel like, okay, it's the right thing for me to do, you jump on it. Some people actually accepted Islam. Some people accepted traditional religion. Everybody's got the right to do whatever they want to, whatever they want to do, man. So the people in traditional religion, they marry 2, 3, 4, 5 wives till today. Are you getting the point? But people who accepted Christianity, now those ones are now being forced to abide by the rules of the Bible, marrying one wife and being loyal to the wife.
My question was, do you agree to that?
Personally, I agree to it because that's what I chose to live. I chose to live my life like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I agreed to. I agreed to live my life. You see, me, I'm not a pastor that will be preaching and be confusing people and be forcing people to abide with what I accept. I'm a pastor who wants people to actually, accept things based on your own understanding, and you feel like I have the freedom to choose what I want. I'm not going to force you to accept what I've accepted. It is my own life. I've chose to do this because that's what I love to do.
Okay, Dr. Shola, regarding the egotistic African man,
yes, ma'am.
How do you think that an African man should behave for those who have accepted the Christianity? Do you think that that's enforcing this ego thing? You know, this idea of I own the woman, I don't take nonsense. Even as a Christian man, how do you see it in the home?
It will still come to play because that's who we are.
How do we handle it?
I'm coming. That's who we are. It will still come to play. That's why, Paul says something in his word. He said that what I want to do is not what I do because my flesh and my spirit do wage war. There's still war in an African man trying to get that identity of, am I still an African man or have I been transformed? So sometimes you will find out that he will still go back to that root of being an African man, aggressive and being driven by ego and all kinds of stuff like that. But when we talk about a life in Christ, a life in Christ is not a life of perfection. It's not like you are perfect. It's not like you are holy. You are striving to be. You need grace. And that is where we always must understand the place of counseling, the place of therapy in our lives. All right. Once, there was a time I was actually full of ego and I get angry a lot. Then I actually throw things all around. I have been to therapy like 15 times. And I've gone to anger management like 20 times for my life to come down, for me to behave properly the way it's supposed to be. So an African man must understand that every one of us, we need to go to therapy in our lives. It's very, very important for us to be changed and transformed so that we could gain control over our lives. Women too must go for therapy. Every one of us must do this. It's not just only praying and going for deliverance. All right? Every one of us, we are broken. We have a part of our life that must be fixed. Everybody. We do have a part that must be fixed. So for an African woman, I'm telling them not to accept that part of a man that will slap you, that part of a man that will insult you, that part of a man that will treat you like a doormat. You must not accept it. That is not the way we are created. African men are not supposed to disrespect their wives. We are supposed to love them, care for them, respect them, submit to them. And exactly what the Bible is saying to us. He said, every one of us will submit to one another. So an African man is supposed to learn that I'm a transformed man now. I'm a born again, I'm a Christian. I'm supposed to love my wife, cherish my wife, and submit my wife. And a wife will do likewise to her own husband. That's what the Bible says. He said, a wife, submit unto your own husband the way you do unto God. So the two of them, they have the job to do of submitting to one another. So the two of them must fix themselves. All right? I say it all the time. Don't marry somebody that is broken. Fix them first before you marry them. So I'm not going to tell a woman to accept an African man that is driven by ego. Even though ego is important in our lives. But ego must be controlled. All right? That's what I'm saying, man. I know.
Okay, Dr. Shola, thanks for making that clarity. I really appreciate that. I really even more appreciate the fact that you have spoken more on therapy and counseling.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do not see the need or they don't understand the need, like you said, and you said something important. I hope a lot of people would hear this one too. A lot of us have been broken.
Yeah.
We have been driven by trauma.
Yeah.
And therapy is a form to help us heal.
Yeah.
So I love hearing more of that aspect, especially with this.
No, that's what I preach. Maybe you are new on my page. Maybe you are new on my page. That's what I preach all the time.
I am not new on your page, Dr. Shola.
Yeah, that's what I preach all the time. I preach therapy. I preach therapy and counseling. I don't preach deliverance. I don't believe in it.
I know I am not new on your page. That's one of the reasons why I follow you, because the first time I heard you talked about therapy.
Yeah, that's what I believe in. I don't believe in deliverance at all. I've been to deliverance many. Actually, when I was working for Lesa Kese in church, we did deliverance like every day. Those people, they didn't get delivered at all. It was a lie. It was all lies. And I've been to meetings whereby I took my friend to a therapist, and then they put shapes on the table, and then the therapist asked him to pick a square, and the guy was picking a triangle. And this was the guy that we drove together, and we had a very nice conversation on the way going to therapy. And then they were able to help him out, and they placed him on medication, and that guy is normal now. He doesn't beat his wife anymore. He doesn't.
Anyway, Dr. Shola, thanks a lot for this opportunity.
God bless you, madam.
And I'll also ask if there's if you have a link to your therapy page or to your therapy,
it's just my
formal you have.
It's just my Facebook, my page, my Facebook and Instagram page, madam.
Then we can make it more formal. I would appreciate that.
That's okay. You're going to see more of the poster on my page and my Instagram page.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye. So the issue is just very simple, guys. We just must to listen. Don't listen to attack, listen to understand. Not listen to attack, listen to understand. If you don't get the point, let me reverse and go back and start all over. And then we keep going. All right? We keep on going. Okay? So in this whole stuff, what I'm saying is that we are from a background, and the background has changed. We are living in Christ now. Our way of life must be changed, must be transformed, must not be the same. It mustn't be the same. We must be renewed. Our mind must be renewed. Right now, we live as Christians. We must have that value. We must have the characteristics of a Christian. We must have the culture of the Bible, the tradition of the Bible. That's what we read. That's what we believe in. If you believe in it, that's what you should follow. That doesn't make me, not to be your friend if you are a pagan. Let's speak this call. Hello?
Hi, Sean.
Yes, so how are you?
Good morning. Thanks for your platform.
Yes.
It has really been a blessing.
Mm.
About what we've been discussing since.
Yes.
What I just felt is just that it's just like what you said. African men, there's ego in every African man.
Yeah.
And it is, let me say, by the way they were raised. And I understand the ratio. The first caller that said something about, my dad, this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad is just one person.
It's just one person out of 2,000.
If you ask 10,000 of us,
yeah,
you know that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the simple truth. That's what I was saying. And these people just say words that I don't understand.
Yeah. And I'm a type of person that before I got married, I'm trying to watch for some, let me say, some behaviors that I want or characteristics that I want in my man. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, there's some of it that I want that my dad, like this, my dad has this attitude and he has these characteristics, and I think I want that in a man. But there's some of whatever that he has that I don't want at all. I try to avoid that. And let me tell you, Pastor Shola, I fell into a trap. Let me say, someone that's even worse than my dad. Because these men, let me say, my husband believed that he can eat his cake and have it.
Yeah.
That's just his belief. And I connected with what you said the other time, that when you hurt your wife not once, twice, 3 times, and then you say you're sorry, and then you just felt like, oh, you're sorry has fixed everything, and then maybe next time you do something and maybe there's a confrontation, and then all you can ever say is that, oh, I'm the man, I can do this. I mean, my husband practically cheated with someone back in Nigeria, and then the only thing he could say to me when he sent me a voice note when we're arguing about the whole thing was that, you know what? Like America. I felt really bad. Like, okay, you've done this. In fact, my heart has been shattered and been broken a number of times that I can't even count. And then when the worst part of it is when he does these things, like, oh yeah, he's bragging and telling my family, I don't do stuff in America, I don't do this in America, but from here to Nigeria, that's how far you go. Like, you're dating people in Nigeria and not in America. How does that Yeah. How does he even solve the whole thing? All in the name of, oh, I didn't bring anybody to meet you in America now. Like, I don't understand. Even Nigeria is worse. I mean, there's this particular case where the lady attacked me as if he brought me with him to go and toast her or to woo her just to date her. I don't understand. Like, I wasn't the referee when you guys are sleeping with each other now. So what's my own problem there? I mean, this girl invaded my DMs on Instagram, sent me messages on Facebook with every causes. Like, this man didn't tell me he's married, this and that, every causes. So I was heartbroken twice. Like, okay, I'm heartbroken before that my husband cheated on me, and then I'm heartbroken again the second time because you had the guts to come into my DM and rain curses on me and my children for something we know nothing about. So, like, I try to look at this man. So many of your videos, I will send it to him. But I realize that even his level of comprehension is zero. Like, he can't even comprehend the messages you're throwing out there. I don't know how to deal with such man. Like, I try to make you understand, try to make you see what someone like you is saying about marriage and how.
Let me say something, sister. They do understand. They know it's the truth. They know. Let me give you one particular story. I went to a party and this bunch of men sitting on a table. They were drinking. So I carried my drink and I walked toward their table and was greeting them. And one of them said, Pastor Shola, I said, I might be all what I'm throwing out. I know it's not very palatable. He said, no, it's not, all these things, they are all true. The truth stuff you're saying, but it's just not easy for us to accept it and stuff. And that's one thing I want you women to understand. It's not like men don't know exactly what to do. Sometimes that part of us that we refuse to kill, that Africa part of us that we refuse to kill, is actually still coming to play. And the people we mingle with, the people we work with, our friends, they influence us.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Majority of our men, they work with people that, Nishina, they go to drink beer everywhere. And these days, you can see some women with big bum. The other day, I went to eat somewhere. I sneak out to go and eat fish. The last time I went to eat fish. When I entered the fish place, the very first woman that came in, the bum was so big, and she intentionally stood in front of me, backing. She was backing herself, looking towards that direction, and the bum was on my face. If not that the fish was in front of me, I had to direct my energy to eating the fish. All right? So a lot of our men, when they hang out and go places and stuff, the temptation is there, and because there is no self-control, before you get to know those women outside, they know us. Yes, they know that we are driven by what we see.
Self-control matters. It matters. Said so many things. I mean, I see these girls.
I went to collect a cup of drink from the bar. As I was coming back, the lady just waved at me. I started feeling like, am I very handsome like this? I'm very handsome. And that thing it's not me. I was seated. You must be very handsome. This woman wants you and stuff. I didn't mean I don't have self-control. I've gone there to say, hey, what's up?
I mean, it said to me that ladies are coming at me. I said, you're not the only one. What if I open my own DM? Yeah. Is it ugly? Like, men are coming after me as well, but I just know that I can't do this. I mean, Yorubas will say,
I know.
Like, he will tell me, and he's someone that I know that, okay, even if you don't want to do this thing, but you're friends with that person, why are you friends with that person? When you know that there's an interest there and then you're friends with that person, I mean, anything can happen from there. It's just that there's a lot of things that needs to be fixed when it comes to the African men. A lot. And it goes with all this, I already said I'm sorry, and then you think that your sorry has already mended my heart. I mean, I still have one that I'm still trying to heal through. The second one happened. I'm still trying to heal through that one. Another one happened. I mean, now I'm in a space whereby it's just in this house and I'm in this house, and then I'm not in love anymore.
Wow. All right.
I'm not just in love anymore. I was forced. I mean, he's in Nigeria presently as we talk.
He's in Nigeria banging something when you are talking on this.
Yes, he's in Nigeria right now. The December people I just got back. He's in Nigeria right now. He'll be back very soon. Yeah. And then, we've already argued because something happened again. That is in Nigeria right now. Something happened again.
Don't tell us that one. Let's pick up another call. People are calling. Thank you, madam. Hello.
Hello.
sir.
Hello,
Good
madam.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
I want to say something.
Right.
First, I want to thank you for your platform. You are changing lives. The topic today, money, ego, and upbringing, is a very powerful one because I experienced this in my marriage until the marriage became broken. The money aspect.
Yeah.
You see, it made me understand that you should never underestimate the humility of a poor man. When a man doesn't have money, you see a humble person.
Yeah.
But when that small change comes in, you see the animal in that man.
Of course.
This I experienced in my marriage. Now, the man I was married to, we started with nothing. When I was hustling, no one complained then because we were starting. And then we were coming to US. No one complained. I hustled. We didn't borrow money to come to US. No one saw that. His family didn't see that. There was no complaint. We had enough money to come in here.
Yeah. And
then my hustle life continued and I began to see envy. Envy in my partner. It was so bad that this guy would do anything to bring me down. Divorce threat became a music in my home.
Yeah.
When I speak up, I get threatened. When I speak up, I get threatened. His ego was flying everywhere. When he threatens me, I go to bed. Everyone will say, go and beg him, go and beg him. It is not easy to find a man. I will beg. But I got tired. His upbringing doesn't believe in the fact that a woman should be able to speak up. My going to school brought more problems because he said to me, and I quote, "You're going to school. You want to be better than me, right?" I ignored all those vices, and I kept pushing myself. And then what I observed is his mother was always helping sugarcoat everything he did. A man who opened his voice to tell his younger brother's wife that you are a woman, you don't have the right to speak in my family. Dr. Shola, may God continue to bless you. I hope men are listening because the younger generation, there is no difference between them and the past and the older generation. And the days of our forefathers, there's slightly no difference. Continue to help the young ones understand that life is different. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. God bless you, man. Thanks for talking. Actually, I believe that the young generation, they are really I believe the young generation are the young generation. They are really trying. They want to do things better. Young ones, those ones from 21 to 35, they're really trying. They babysit, they stay home. They allow their wives to go out and stuff. And they allow their wives to talk in the house. They hold conversation with their wives and stuff. I've counseled a lot of them, young ones like that. And during the counseling session, you see that their wives are vocal and they talk, unlike the ones that are 50, 45, 48, 50, 60. The wife will be asking the husband, shaking so, sure, this is a problem. But the young ones, they will just say things without asking. So you see that those men, the younger men are actually getting it. The younger men are getting it. And they are trying to build their relationship and build it well. So the older ones are the ones with the problem. Those are the ones that, Africa is still part of their life. Africa is still part of them. And it's difficult to take it out of them if they are not controlled by the Holy Spirit. If the Holy Spirit is not controlling you, that Africa part of you will always come. And that's what will result into you being physically abusive, beating your wife, slapping your wife, and all of that stuff. And that will result into your wife calling 911. I always say this all the time, that when you see a woman calling 911, it's more like self-defense. I can't just stay here and let you kill me. I'm going to call the police on you. A woman told me yesterday that the husband just woke up from nowhere and just choked her, pressed her head to the wall and choked her for nothing. And she said she could see her life was just being flying away right in her face. That kind of a woman will call 911 just to protect herself. But Africans will say, oh, you can't call 911 your husband. The woman is helpless. The woman is helpless. Doesn't know what she's gonna do. If she call her pastor, you say, oh, she's calling her pastor. If she call a counselor, they will say, oh, she's calling a counselor. If she call her mom, they will say, oh, she's calling the mom. Who do you want her to call? Do you want her to die? For me, I see a man to be more powerful than a woman. All right? Even though there are some men that are not, even there are some sissy men that can't fight. I understand that fact. But I always want to go, when I go by the large number. I don't look at the small number. I go by the large number. All right? That's what I go by. Hello?
Yeah, sure.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, so regarding to the cheating aspect, I just have a different perspective.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because I have a lot of faithful friends that I would probably say they are very faithful to their wife.
Yeah.
But just because how faithful they are, most of their wife they always take them for granted.
Okay.
They take them for granted. So the moment they realize and started to cheat, their wife become insecure and they started adjusting. You understand? Because I can see sometimes most women does not really value loyalty. Because most women really want a man that everybody wants. Can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you. I'm a little confused.
Yeah,
I'm a little confused. But you think that women don't want loyal men? They want a man that everybody wants. Who is that man? Who is that man that everybody wants?
Yeah, because sometimes when you try to do everything right, you try to please woman, do everything for them. They don't value you. But the moment they think that, oh yeah, you may be cheating, and they try to see that something is wrong.
So what you're saying is that everybody wants a cheating man. Is that what you're saying?
No. I said woman. I think it's just my own another part of view that women love to be in a competition.
They love to be in competition. So when a woman outside is actually wooing their husband, that's when they like you too.
That is what I think, because like I said, I have few friends that are married and they are loyal to their wife. Okay. But just because how loyal they are, the woman always mostly take them for granted with what they told me. And because of that, they feel sad.
Your friends are lying to you. Your friends are lying to you. Your friends are lying. Your friends didn't tell you what they did. They didn't tell you what they did. Because somebody is not cheating doesn't make him a good husband, though.
Dr. Shola, I don't know where I can start explaining.
I'm just trying to help you because
this is a conversation between guys, right?
Yes.
So this is not a conversation in a live TV that they can lie. You understand? This is they are probably doing everything in their own best to please a woman. Sometimes women can seem to be difficult to please, depending on what they want. You understand? But the moment they don't find happiness in their home, and they think that the best way they can find happiness is just okay. I have seen a lot of examples of women not try to have sex with their with some of my friends. They'll be like, I am not in the mood for 7 months.
Yeah.
You understand? There's so many aspects of that.
Your friends, if their wife is saying, I don't want to have sex, I'm not in the mood, have they tried to check what exactly happened before? Have they been, you see, sometimes men will say, I'm sorry to things. I'm sorry is just the beginning of forgiveness. So if they refuse to allow that forgiveness to actually go through, and they are still demanding for sex, they will always make the brick wall of I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? I counseled a young man this time, and the man cheated many times and stuff. Then the wife caught him, and the woman was like, "I'm actually ready to walk away." So, we started the counseling session, and the man said, "I'm sorry." And the man said, "Pastor, can you tell her to move to the room today?" I said, "No, sir. She's not moving to the room today." You see, this I'm sorry that you just said, you have to work on it for 3 months. Let's see what you do. Let's see how you stay home and help her. Let's see how you cook with her. Let's see how you take care of kids with her. Let's see how you're loyal to her first. In 3 months' time, then I will be able to tell her maybe it's time for her to move into the room or not. The guy was like, "Yay." I said, "Yes, I'm sorry. It's only the beginning of healing." So some of your friends may not tell you what has happened in their home. I've seen it many times that they're talking to a friend and the friend will say, "Please don't tell my friends, so they don't know. They didn't know this one." I was like, "Oh, so you didn't tell them the rest of the story." They won't tell you the rest of the story, sir. Don't let them corrupt your mind. You are not married, yeah? You are not married, right?
No, not yet.
All right. Don't let them corrupt you. They are lying to you. There are so many things they didn't tell you. When you get into marriage, you understand women. Women love loyal people. When you're loyal to a woman, they'll be loyal to you. All right? They will cook your meal. They will give you sex on time and everything you do. Women are not looking for rich men. They are looking for faithful men. You see, the two of them can become rich together when they work very hard. They know that. So it is only men, because of our ego, we always want to, I want to have money, because we believe money will make you talk. But women are not looking for that money. They're only looking for a man that will be faithful and be loyal to them.
But most of those women, right in their front, they have those faithful men.
Okay.
But just because the men are too faithful,
they
have to take advantages of this man.
I don't think there is anything like too faithful in relationship. I don't think so. I believe there are bad women. You understand? I believe there are bad women, and I believe a good man may actually fall into the hands of a bad woman. You get that?
That's it. Yeah, I get that.
That may be what happened to them. Maybe they got married to a bad woman, a woman without character, a woman that wasn't trained well, and all kinds of stuff, or a broken woman. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't think there's anything like
a few of them, like 4 of them, told me like cheating, change their woman to behave properly, to behave right. You understand? Just because like they feel like, okay, no, I don't want you to be looking outside, they started adjusting. I don't know if that is true anyway. Like you said, they might be doing something wrong, but like when want to be in the competition.
When a man uses divorce or cheating to threaten a woman, it's possible for them to see a change, thinking that that's a change. No, the woman is only coping. A day will come that the woman will not be able to cope again. All right. So when you come home and then you use divorce as a threat, a woman may pipe down and not even talk again. You go, you come back, she'll cook your meal and stuff like that. All right. But there's going to be a time that if you don't stop what you're doing, a time will come that she won't even care anymore. She'll be like, okay, if you want to go, go. If you want to divorce me, just divorce me. I'm done. And stuff. And
that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shola. I definitely enjoy your program.
Thank you, Baba. God bless you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
You too. Bye. You see what I'm saying? So it is important for us men. Let us get it right. Let's get it right. I am not here to create a competition between a man and a woman. No, I'm not here to do that. Hello.
Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
Can you turn your computer?
Sir, Dr. Good.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm a regular commenter. I'm a regular contributor on your program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, with all due respect, the guy that just called last now, I want to believe he's talking about himself.
No, he's talking about himself. He's talking about his friend.
Pastor, he was just trying to disguise.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's my honest opinion. Now, sometimes it baffles me how women demonize women. Women are just like a computer. Whatever you give him, whatever you put into them, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's what I believe too.
If you give them loyalty, they're going to be loyal to you. If you give them honesty, they're going to be honest to you. Yeah. But every now and then, I always make my marriage be an example. It's not because I'm frustrated. It's just because the way I've been able to play, along with my wife in my marriage.
Yeah.
I don't know, because anytime I hear about a woman did this, women did that, I look at myself, okay, why is this not happening in my marriage?
Then they're gonna say you are lucky.
So sometimes the word lucky does not even come to play. What do you do?
It's not about lucky. It's about you working. You worked on your marriage.
Exactly.
You worked on your marriage.
So many years, I'm not immune. I'm not a saint. When I was in Africa, we were lectured by our parents.
Yeah.
We were lectured to believe that men can do anything and go scot free.
Yes, sir.
Then moving to diaspora, I saw a lot of stuff, and I just have to change my orientation. That things does not work this way.
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the people that comment on your program, I want to be there. Most of them they are seeing in Africa.
I see that. Most of the ones on Facebook.
Nothing can tell them.
Most of the ones on Facebook, they're in Nigeria.
So there's nothing you can tell them. So not until when they move to diaspora, they
will see the different picture.
Their brain is going to adjust. To the way a normal human being should reason, a way a husband should behave towards his wife.
Yes. And that was the point I was trying to make as per the African men. There's supposed to be transition. You go from what you used to do or what you used to know to now the new light that's actually showed up in your life.
Exactly.
And to get to that point, sometimes you fight it. It's challenging, but if you can actually just succumb to it and then you learn it, you will see the beauty of a woman. That a woman being your partner will make your life very easy.
Pastor Shola, so many times I've had it, I've had stories that, I brought my wife, got property, later she collected from me. The fact remains that, what did you do?
Yeah, that's always my question. What did you do?
What did you do? You say, we've been married for 15 years in Nigeria. A woman will not change overnight.
No.
A woman will not change overnight.
No. And see, my brother, some women will come into a relationship with a very bad mindset that, let me use this guy. But when you treat that person right, that person will have a change of mind. You look at it like, I'm not going to get this kind of a guy anywhere.
What you just mentioned now.
Yeah.
I went to my wife with a serious motive. In the first place.
Oh,
I saw the big bomb. Oh, see this woman. Pastor Shola, when I got there, I saw an angel.
You got stuck.
I saw an angel. But today, as I speak with you, I tell everybody that came to listen, my wife is my best friend. Not even any friend. Any of my friends, I just my wife is my best friend. I tell them they know that.
When I found my wife too, let me confess too. When I found my wife, I was like, let me just do one eat and run stuff. Eat and run, I couldn't do it. When I met her, I saw an angel. And ever since then, I started pouring love and care and transparency into her. And she remained the same till today.
That is it, Pastor Shola, honestly.
She remained the same to today. I didn't want to marry her. I had a lot of other girls that are spirit girls that I like. I like the bad girls. Those are the bad girls. I like the bad girls. So, but those bad girls will have sent me to jail by now.
I used to tell this to people. How many pastors have you seen that got married to a cripple or ugly girl?
I don't know.
So only does not refute to them that they can marry a blind or something. Why should they always go for good, fine girls, fine ladies?
It's terrible. It's so terrible. We need to wake up.
Thanks for everything you're doing. We really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless you for always commenting. Bye. I'm telling you, bro. I had spirit girls that I just like the spirit ones. Those spirit ones that when you sit down, they'll be jumping on you, kissing you in the public, holding your hand, and doing all manners of things and say, "Move me lower now. I like those ones. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Can you turn your computer off? We're hearing the sound on the background.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me reduce it. Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'd like to talk about the cheating aspect of guys.
Yeah.
For my own opinion, I think that they don't have an excuse because
So this is gone. We're gonna wait for that call to come back. We're gonna wait for that call to come back. We just have to take responsibility. When you go into marriage, with one mindset that this is gonna work. I have done my homework and I know this is what I want. Hello?
Hello, Pastor Shola.
Hello, ma.
Good afternoon, good morning.
All of the above.
Hello, Pastor Shola.
We can hear you, ma.
Yeah. I just want to add a little to what the program you're talking about today.
Yeah.
I was listening to the last guy that spoke and what you said. Mm-hmm. Like our parents. I always tell people, like the guy said, our parents were look our jadi, they are bad example and all that. Our parents is just like role model. They are role model, you take what you like from them and you take what you don't like. They are not like 100% good in that aspect of when it comes to doing romance and all that. Any reality about the kiss you. But say you want me became a kiss or coming. No. I understand. So it's not like, okay, our parents are bad. Because there are some things they do that we love, which don't train you. It might be bad that time, like Kinon Shifua, but at the end of the day, it helps. So if in that love aspect, they don't really show it to us. We don't see them, they're doing love and all that. But to the main point, like husband cheating and all that, I always tell my own husband, what you do to me is what I will do to you. That is it. He said, do unto what you want them to do unto you. That is the basic thing. You can't tell me it's the men's word and you go and cheat and you are not telling me it's the men's word. So ever something the way you think and the way you are feeling, you don't feel bad now. Same thing, you don't feel bad. Woman goes out, you see somebody you like, oh, this guy has this past, and your husband don't have this past. You feel the same thing. But we take our minds off. But why are you telling me you can't take your own minds off as well? So for you to tell me you can cheat and you say men's word, you don't cheat. Because what she wait to she for pouring all for being. So can you play a preamble game or us here or telling us all sort of things. So I believe marriage should be equal. Nothing is you men's word or women's word. All the nonsense that our parents were doing.
You know, madam. You know that's why we actually we mention our parents. Part of it, the way they train you women is different from the way they train us men. Our mothers put a lot of effort in training you women. They train the girls well. They must not see you wear mini. They will beat you. They must not see you sit down, you open your leg, they will beat you. You must not see you eat and do one kind, they will beat you. You go to kitchen, you go everywhere. And the women, they grew up to be more mature than the boys. The boys were left alone to do all manners of things and everything. So that's why they grew up not knowing nothing. And this is where we now... You said something, man.
No, you continue that.
And this is why we actually now calling all of our mothers. The time that we are right now is a time that we must understand that a man is equal to a woman. The same training you give to them. Let those boys know how to cook, how to iron, how to do laundry, how to do all kinds of stuff, and how to love. Teach them to love their sisters, love their mother, love everybody. Show them love. And men must be available in the home also to show our girls how to love. Because if there is a father-daughter love, that girl will understand when somebody say I love you, they will understand what it means. Okay? It's not like daddy is not around and then the girl is now searching for love somewhere else.
Yeah, Pastor Shola, you are right in that point. But in other way, I always tell people that train children, parents generally, that what you don't have, you can't pass it. You can't pass. Pastor Shola, ọmọ tí wọn kọ́ ní lọ́ọ̀fù níbi tó ti ń bọ̀ kò lè ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ pàṣẹ sọ́mù.
You said something just now, and that's what you said is a valid point. Only that's the point. They don't have to give you all the information from your father's house.
Yes, because mo fẹ́ sọ fún yín náà nìyẹn ní pé ẹni tí wọn kọ́ ẹlòmíì ò ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ pass, but you can bring yourself.
Yeah, of course. America lèmi dé tí mo fi kọ́ gbogbo a lot of ọgbọ́n tí mo nílé ní now.
Yes.
My dad didn't sit me down to train me and tell me all things.
Yes, does that mean because I didn't see my parents don't kiss me, so does that mean I will not kiss my husband? I train myself.
No, you have to train yourself.
Yes, because a lot of them say, Bíyá mi ṣe kọ́ mi ni, bí bàbá mi ṣe kọ́ mi ni, and they want to pass that to ọmọ wọn. No, you because you jáde, o ti lọ university, o ti lọ polytechnic, you've been so different, you've lived with people, you've been different places. You have to know what and what like the part ọmọ lára. Because a lot of them don't even know anything wọn ní clue nǹkan tó fẹ́ wọn tẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan wọn ní nǹkan kan lọ́pọlọ.
Because people before you become a parent, you have to go to school to learn to be a parent.
I always tell people something, Pastor Shola. It's not the year you spend in marriage that makes you to be like, I'll be 15 years in marriage. You can't say, a lot of them they knew nothing. Oh, my daddy.
Yeah.
Almost just a marriage that can pour things on their head. All of them just stay there. They'll just be doing rubbish. It's not by, it's just like they say, age has nothing but a number. Does the time you spend in marriage has nothing to do? Sometimes you see married people don't sorrow, but the way they talk, I was like, anything when they were married 7 years ago, I can pour something on your head, and you would like, wow. So it's just like that. Some of them don't want to learn, and all these African men, they refuse to learn.
Yeah.
Even if you are telling them, I'm like,
no, one more time. One more point. You bring them fún láyé. One more time. One more time about the halẹ̀ mọ́ yín pé my divorce here. Then you guys will be shaking.
There's one of my friends. The Bible says, "Matthew, in America, to be Nigeria, the woman quiet."
Yeah.
America, that you know you're right and you know what to do. So when it's rubbish to me, if I just put in my slave, when you for what? And all this man and your own Nigerian men,
I know when African men, when they marry black Americans or white Americans, they behave.
They behave. So where is your behavior with your own African woman?
Because they know you guys. That's what I'm saying. African men, they understand, they know the truth. But you women are the one that black American women know they hear word. You do crazy stuff, they call 911, they take you to jail. They press the reset button in your head.
You want to reset your brain.
Yes, but you African women will say, let us go and pray. Let us go and pray. And it's let us go and pray that you use in killing your own self.
Not me, Mr.
That's not you. Congratulations to you. Yeah, congratulations to you.
Not me.
I'm telling you, congratulations to you. If not you, African women will always say, let us go and pray. Let us go and pray. And the man will continue doing what he's doing because you didn't check him. You didn't check the guy. You need to check him. White Americans don't take nonsense. They will be doing shoggy. They will be doing laundry like a no man's business. Another thing, my sister, you see, these African men, when they have side chick, they do what they don't do at home at the side chick's house.
What are you saying?
Some of them don't lick the plate in their wife's house. They lick side chick's plate. They will be there licking plate in side chick house. They will go and be doing laundry for side chick. They will go and be doing shopping for side chick.
Definitely, yes. Incotenso is right.
Because you know why? You know why? Side chick ole poloju to ba se were a se ye. Side chick ma pe yawo en le ni pe wa amori di meji ti ya were ni. Mo pe ko wa le mi ko wa. You are the wife. Are you holding him? Release him now. Let him come home.
And then other thing I always tell them, I always tell this name, say, okay, the girl give it this. Ìyàwó mi ò lè ṣe, jẹ́ ìyẹn ṣe báyìí, ó acrobatic lórí bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ṣe kíní kan. Mo ní because you are giving that side chick money, owó tó ń tọ́ owó iṣẹ́ lóye.
Owó ṣe ni. Ó dẹ̀ impress ẹ̀ torí pé ó fẹ́ wọlé ni, ó fẹ́ lé ìyàwó ẹ̀ jáde.
Yes, so what will be your way to this acrobatic glory bed this way? You must think your wife. You don't take your wife out. Oh, take her out. Oh, just stop people. Take her, my stop people. And I go all the way from one place to another. Go travel. And some ticket. Why is so the chiche? Oh, what shall you now? What are you saying?
Ó ṣàlùsẹ̀.
Bàbá tán pé yẹn mọ́ táìtì kì ò ní làdí fún ẹ.
Láíláí ẹ̀fọ́ rírọ̀ òsì kò sí ẹ̀fọ́ rírọ̀. Those boys be saying, you know what they be saying? The side chick will call them and say, hello, the méjì ṣó ń bọ̀ ní ẹni pé mò ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣó fi ẹ̀fọ́ sí ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn wà ń lẹ́wọ́n níbẹ̀ ṣó fi dé sí ṣé pọ̀mọ́ wà nù ẹ̀ ó máa ní ó wà ń bẹ̀ fún ẹ náà gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wà ń bá mi sẹ́ẹ̀lì 5,000 nísinsìnyí wọn ni o máa wọrí màá sẹ́ẹ̀lì ẹ̀sìn tíyàwó lè bá béèrè 500 naira ó máa ya wèrè sí lọ́rùn.
Adéṣọmọ wàhálà tí mo ṣe ní kí tó rówó ṣọmọ wàhálà how will that woman be happy? Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ happy?
Ó máa ya wèrè sí lọ́rùn. See finish ló máa ń kàn sí ẹ̀ sí finish ni àrífín ilé ìgbẹ́.
I always tell people pé ọ̀rọ̀ pé you want to go and do one ogun to be prosper in life you are just yourself. Your wife is the ogun so láti máa bọ̀ you will be okay.
Yeah.
You will be okay. That is your ogun that God has given you. Pour oil on the wife. Pour oil òróró. He will give you what you want. He will start praying for you.
Yeah.
But you want to go and be prosper outside. I want to prosper. When you don't sacrifice the one at all. You sacrifice your wife and he will do better for you.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni jàre.
And then all your way will be open.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o.
I always tell some people, mo ní pé ìyá mo ń sọ fọ́kọ́ mi mo ní.
Ìyá ẹjọ́ àwọn èèyàn ti pè dànù ẹjọ́ á gbé kọ́ọ̀lù ẹnìkan.
Okay.
Ẹ ṣé gan ìyá mi, God bless you. Hello from Canada.
Hello, Dr. Shola.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Hello, Dr. Shola. God bless you.
Bless you too.
I'm doing good. You see, I've been listening to you. This program is the first time I'm joining you.
Oh, okay.
But I've been listening to many of your videos on YouTube, and I cannot but just laugh.
Okay.
There are senses in what you're saying, and I love, every time I see you, I love listening to you. There are different dynamics to what is being discussed today.
Okay.
And in a way not to get people confused, I won't really go too much in to some aspect. But I want to back you up on the statement when you said mothers, they spend more time to train the women than men. I agree with you. Though there are some exceptions. When I was in school, my roommate, he doesn't know how to teba. Do you understand, sir? So you are very correct in that area. And someone like me, I didn't see it as a big deal because I grew up in a family whereby there is no difference between a man and a woman.
Me too.
A boy and a girl. It's a function of your age. When you get to the age whereby you're supposed to do some job, you just have to do it.
You gotta do it.
So when it gets to the age that a man has to be cooking in the house, you will cook.
You cook.
You will cook. I'm not saying I'm a perfect cook, but I cook for my family right from my secondary school days.
Of course.
So when I moved to the university, the fellow person would do his own.
Yeah.
And it got to a point that a woman was married into our family. She couldn't cook. A man will have to teach her. A man will have to teach her how to cook. That is what my mom would do. They won't allow the lady or woman in the house to teach the wife.
Yeah.
Just to let her see what she has made in her own upbringing. But in the case of a man and woman, Pastor Shola or Kishire, as you rightly said, there are some men that they maltreat their women, no matter what they did, no matter how pleasing they please the husband. And I have seen enough in my life that I cannot even support a woman. Just like you said, if a woman complains, what did you do? It would be the first thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that every man complaining is wrong or is at fault.
Of course. We're going to go to the table and listen to the stories now.
Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
so we need to listen to the stories and pick one or two things from it. If I tell you what is happening to me, I know the same question you ask.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? And I can tell you. I don't know if someone who knows me is listening to me. Believe me, Pastor Shah, I didn't know what I did.
Of course.
Yeah. May God help you.
Amen.
What would you say to a man who locked his wife out because she got pregnant?
Got pregnant for him or for another person?
For him.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you I don't want to born again. I don't want to give birth to any child again.
Okay. Yeah, I just
if you don't want to have child again, you just have to sit down and do the plan.
And talk about it. When you guys were doing it, you're supposed to think about it to wear condom or probably logo and use whatever. You didn't use it. You pour the whole thing inside. You didn't pull out at all. Now you are blaming the woman for getting pregnant. That must be a sissy man. Those are the men I call sissy men. I feel like slapping and beating them up.
Yes, sir. How some men think. I mean, man, I can't support every trash that a man does to his woman. Like you said, some good men fell into the trap of a bad woman and vice versa.
Of course.
But like you said, we need to see this African in us.
Yeah.
It's not easy to take away.
It's going to be there for forever, but
for a long time.
The Holy Spirit will help us. That's why the Holy Spirit is there to help us to gain control over the flesh.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. It's a question I would like to ask. This is not. It's just probably can shed light on it.
Yeah.
In the light of the African in us. I don't want to assume I understand what you mean by that, but you know that it is usually said that we are product of the environment we grow in.
Yeah.
Not in being a bad example, but meaning that there is something we call culture or tradition. Where is the place of that in man and also in woman in marriage, regardless of the environment they live in, be it in Africa or be it in diaspora.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Let me break it down to you quickly. Now, there was an alteration that was made in our lives when the white people came to actually colonize Africa. So when they came, they actually trashed everything that was working. Our system of government, our culture, our tradition, our religion, everything was destroyed. Thank God for some people who are still holding on to it. Some people are still holding on to that tradition, the culture, and every other thing. But when they now came with the Christianity, they came with Christianity, school, and the hospital. You know, during that time, there was we had our own kind of hospitals. That's the Onishegun. The Onishegun. Onishegun is actually a traditional doctor. So, and they're healing people of malaria, of different diseases. Until today, we still have herbs that could cure cancer and all of those kind of sicknesses and all kinds of stuff that we were doing those days. All right, those ones, they are different from Babalawo. Babalawo is different from Onishegun. Onishegun is a traditional doctor. Babalawo is the Dibia. All right, that's the ones that make incantation and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to education also, we have our own ways to educate our people. All right, and people are being educated to know the culture and the tradition of the land, how we behave, and they always put punishment behind every sin at that point in time. Then when it comes to the religion, also, we have the Yoruba traditional religion and all of that stuff that people have in those days, and people worship their gods during that time. So when they came in, so for them to take advantage of us and for them to control us, they must first of all empty us. And that's what the church will do to everybody that comes to church. They call it indoctrination. They will first of all teach you what you do not know before. They enforce this teaching on you. That's why during preaching, you have no right to ask questions. You just believe whatever that man is saying. So the Bible study time is supposed to be question and answer time. We still don't allow people to ask questions. We just let them go without same message that we preach to them, and we preach it over and over again and again, It becomes part and parcel of them. That's why they say what a man listens to, that's who he's going to become. So people become what they hear in church, what they hear in TV, and all kinds of stuff. So when the white men came, they emptied us. They condemned everything. And inside of the Bible, they make our own God to look like an idol that is not supposed to be worshipped. All right? So when you now read the Bible and you interpret the Bible based on African culture, you will believe that we are idol worshippers, and it's not supposed to be. So that religion is actually devilish. It's not, oh my God. All right, let me start again on Instagram. I'm going to start again with you guys. I don't want you guys to miss this. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Is that up to 1 hour already? Jesus Christ of Jerusalem.
Pastor Shola, this program is interesting. You won't know when time flies.
It's almost 2 hours now. All right. So as I was saying, so they must empty us. You cannot take ownership of a powerful man. The very first thing you do to that powerful man is to bind that powerful man before you can actually go into his possession and actually carry it away. So the very first thing they got to do to us is to empty us. And then they pump into us the new ideas. So the new idea they pump into us, it became a thing of confusion after they left. All right, they left us with templates, the hospital, the church, and then the school. It means that when you are sick, they want you to go to the hospital. There's a doctor there waiting for you. When you need education, Western education, you go to school. They will teach you to speak English like them, to obey instructions, and to know all this stuff, to become professional. When you need God, you go to church. And that's why you're going to learn about the things of Jesus. All right? So when those people came, they left all these things. When they left, it was now confusing that we as Africans, we have our own tradition, our own culture, our own religion. So what we are now doing is that we are now mixing the two together. So our culture, our religion in Africa, our tradition, we now mix it up with the Western education and belief and the hospital and the religion. That every time you go to church, you will see the sample of a traditional idol worshiping template inside of the church. People consult the pastor like they consult a divya. They consult a pastor like they consult a babalawo. They come over there to say, what is the oracle saying? So you see it inside of our Christianity. The Christianity that the white man came to bring to us is individual, a personal relationship of you knowing God by yourself and able to connect with him by yourself. All right? But we change all of that stuff around. So coming back to your question, that a man is the product of his own environment. Now, the environment of Africa has been altered. Are you getting this out? Has been altered. That the white men, they are more superior to the black man. That's what we believe. We believe that anything that the white man comes to market to you is better than whatever the black man is marketing to you. So we embraced the idea of a white man and condemn our own mentality, our own way of life. But you know one funny thing? Christianity could still work in our own culture. Christianity can still work in our own tradition and our own environment. But we need to understand that thin line to first of all understand the tradition of our land and then that Christianity that they want to preach to us coming from the white men. So we need people who are very knowledgeable to sit down to balance it out, to make us to understand that, okay, this is our culture and this is our tradition and this is the culture of the white people and this is their tradition and this is their religion. So it's not going to come in between and then we get confused. All right? So we are a confused generation in Africa. Because white men, they have bought all of our own idols. They bought them from Africa. And they come to study them. They study all of our idols. When you go to Brazil, when you go to Cuba, when you go to Jamaica, you will see our traditional religion that is actually there, and those things are striving there. And they are really doing well because they study them. They know exactly what those things are for. And they kept them in their museums here in America and in England. All right? So it is part of our own religion that they use in actually modifying their own environment. Part of our culture is what these white people now use to modify what they have. Because a white man don't get culture, a white man don't get tradition. Now only we get those things. They only have a way of life.
Not allowed to thrive in our own Africa.
Yeah, but their own way of life is what they call culture. But we have a deeper culture in where we are coming from. Understand? So we got confused. And when they now looked at us, they could see that we're a very brilliant set of people. So for them not to allow us to make it in life, they divided us. They understood the Bible that when God looked down on the Tower of Babel and he saw that they were in unity, and he found out that with this unity, they could do anything and achieve anything. So God said, let us go there and confuse their language. So that was what the white people did to us. They now divided us into different parts. They sent part of Yoruba people to Cameroon, part of Yoruba people to Chad, part of Igbo people to this, Hausa people to that. Then we got mixed up in the middle that we couldn't understand ourselves at all. That one prevented us from actually growing. It prevented us from growing. And coupled with the religion they gave to us that we didn't really understand. And some of our pastors now pick the religion, they turn it into a money-making machine. They now look at us that, oh, everybody loved the white man's religion. So they took it and then they used it to enrich themselves. They gather as many people together. And they didn't tell us the truth about the religion that we have accepted, the Christianity. That Christianity is supposed to be a life between you and God. There's not supposed to be anybody included in the whole stuff. So but instead of them making it like that, they brought the template of the Babalawo religion. Let me consult the oracle on your behalf. All right? So they did that, and that's what we are still doing until today. So we are confused generation that we don't even know where we belong. We are thinking, are we Americans? Are we British? Are we Nigerian? What are we? We couldn't differentiate who we are. The Americans did not buy our own native and start wearing it. They listen to our songs. They dance to our song. Right now, they just accepted our music. All right? They just accepted our music. All right? Just some few years ago now, our music is actually now topping the charts. All right? But they didn't embrace our traditional outfit. They didn't change their suit because of us. They didn't start speaking Yoruba because of us. Yoruba is not even one of the major languages that people speak all over the world, even though Yoruba is everywhere. Spanish is actually being accepted, all right, over Nigerian language. But we have embraced everything that they sold to us. And those things, they sell those things to us to gain control of us. And we get confused in that level. So it will take an African man some time to actually think about his own identity. We have to go and find our own identity, sit down and ask questions. Who are we? We are not Americans, even though we carry American passport. All right? Even though we live in America and we eat burger, we are not Americans. We are Africans. We are Nigerians. That's where we come from. And that's where our peace is. That's where our peace is. All right? It's just a pity that we don't have good leadership. It's a pity that our country is so rich in everything, but we don't have good leadership. And that's what sent every one of us out of that country and where we are right now and living like strangers. in another man's land.
Unfortunately.
We are living like strangers in another man's land. It will take every one of us with the knowledge and what we have right now to return back to where we come from and build our own country and embrace our own culture and now put that Christianity into what we have. And then you now see the Christianity will be different. We now walk perfectly in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr.
God bless you, sir. I think I'll right here because I think I have a meeting by 12. I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm missing some. I've missed some messages here. Okay. I'll respond later. All right. So that's it for today. That's it for today. Now, and people on Instagram, if you want to watch this video again, you go to YouTube and go to Facebook. That's where it's going to be because I'm going to delete it from Instagram. So please go on YouTube and go on Facebook to watch it. If you want to watch, you're going to see the full length right there. And thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you, guys.